So I'm going live a little bit early, guys. It's scheduled for 8:30, but we have news at 8:30. I wanted to just kind of show people um, kind of where I prepare when I'm getting ready for news. So first off, go to your BotJock site here. Once you log in, right, you come down, click on economic events, and what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to Wednesday. As you see, the economic events are starting to fill. And if you look at the top, right, this is the actual, the forecast, and the previous. So what we want to look at is how are these starting to shape up, right? So far we have, a little bit of green coming in, right, for the CPI over here. Um, and then the retail sales, right? Nothing really big news wise, right? So the first big news is about to drop here in a short time, right? Which is going to be these CPI reports here. So, um, let's see where this goes, guys. It's going to be a wild one. So, if you're watching the recording, you don't want to hang out or whatever, you guys can fast forward this, but I'm just going to kind of chill here. And we're going to watch the market go bananas. So, I am going to take this screen off of here. Just be careful, guys. Like, today's going to be nuts. Like, there's going to be some wild wicks, right? The first move is typically the wrong one unless it is clearly bad news or clearly good news. If it's somewhere in the middle, so example, um, if our projection is six or I'm sorry, if our last was six, our projection is 5.2. If we come out like 5.4, 5.3, 5.5, you're going to see like a crazy wick down or a crazy wick up, and then it's going to be a crazy wick the other way, and then it's going to bounce all over the place, and then the true trend will catch up, right? Um, be careful of those middle ranges because we've had a lot of big pumps along the way, and there's a lot of room for the market to pull down. So if it's not bad because it's better than this, but it's not good enough, there's a chance that the market could still pull back, right? Because it didn't hit the anticipation. This price is already priced in. Like the market typically prices that in already, right? Even if it comes out, let's say 5.2, you're going to see a wick down, you'll see a rocket north, you're going to see it wiggle, 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 and then people are going to realize it's not going to hold there. People are going to take their profit, and it'll likely pull back, either quickly or over the rest of the day. So, but the caveat to that is we could shoot north with this, then coming down here at 2 o'clock, we can get the FOMC meeting minutes where, Powell gets on and says, we're hiking rates more than we thought we had to. And we go to 32K Bitcoin. And then he talks and we go straight to like 25, right? I mean, it's super possible today. That's why just be really careful. Let me open I don't want to open that one. What am I doing? Let me go back to this page. A lot of times I always forget. When I record this on OBS, I used to, when I record it on OBS, let's see, let me click on here. Make sure my audio is good. Yep, audio is good. This way I can see the comments. So I'm gonna pull this one down so I can see if you guys comment or anything. But um, we'll flip between this one here. Um, I might shrink it a little because I want to see the yeah, that's fine. As long as because once I get ready to refresh it, right? So this is just kind of how I prepare. That's why I started it a little bit early. So I'm just getting myself ready. Right at 8:30, 8:31. I mean, there's guys that have the inside scoop, and so the moment 8:30 hits, the candles go bananas, anyways. Um, but I love these news events because I get excited about it because I want to see how the ATAs perform. I'm still short on my ATAs because with the pullback last night, I'll show you guys, but I got out of both those shorts that I was hanging out in, so my shorts have been back to trading. Um, I don't have anything that's even, I don't think DCA'd yet. So even if we go, parabolic up, like I got so much room to mask that it's fine. I'm not overextending. I'm only going to run the two, depending on what the news drops. I may add a third one if it's not good news. Um, yeah, we'll see. I don't want to make any presumptions. If y'all notice in the community, a lot of times I don't do the TA for the day right before news events because the greatest TA in the world, I could sit here and tell you guys, we're gonna gap fill, we're gonna gap fill, we're gonna gap fill, we're going down, and then come to find out, we come in with like a 5.0 on the CPI, and I mean we go straight to 34K, right? And then people will be like, "Oh, Nick, you're terrible. You're TA." I mean, it's not nothing to do with the TA, right? And news is news. The only thing to remember as a trader is that the only thing that trumps even the best TA is going to be news and volume. We can't predict news, and we can't predict volume. We can anticipate news. We even have a forecast of news, but we can't predict it. I mean, this thing could come in at 4.8, and we'll be at 35K in about 2 minutes, right? We don't know. So these news events are huge. This is where some traders don't even really trade at all, except for these news events. This is where they make all their money for the month on these couple news events. So 6 more minutes, so we'll see. Um, right before, I will just show a little bit of where we're at. Da, 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 da. All right, so we got the pre on now. So the pre is up at 410. It has not created a higher high for the SPY. Not a lot of action yet, guys. I mean, it's not, you can see how some of my old lines here. We mostly, traded sideways. We had a good clean double top off of this line, right? Still couldn't hold it, double top. That's what caused that really big fall. So, Ethereum. Remember when I just want to show you guys this because, so obviously, again, guys, news is going to change this, but we have a fall and we have a rising channel that typically creates fall one, fall two, right? Pending news. But in a normal world, now flip out here. Remember we talked about gap fills? So you had your pump, your pump, your pump, and then what happened, right? We had a short-term gap fill. So we ended up filling this up, right? Now, if you go to the 1 hour, what I want to caution you is what do you have? You have a absolutely clean double top right here. Just, I mean, textbook, right? You got crazy high wick, a lower wick, rejection, pullback for Ethereum, and it literally has been fighting the neckline. Now the news, because remember, we've been watching this red line. Let me go to the daily. I think you have to go to the daily for the red line. Yeah, so you remember this one right here? Crazy rejection here. Well, we're back below that red line. So, again, news can change this, right? But typically when you have a rising channel, you're going to have some form of pullback. But Ethereum needs to break like 1830 or so through this news event in order for it to be a really dramatic fall. Otherwise, we could see if the news is bullish, a pump all the way back up into this range again, around 1930 or so. But that's why people are asking me, through comments, like, why is Ethereum dropping more than Bitcoin? And two reasons. One, you have a potential double top that is ugly on Ethereum, and you go to Bitcoin, and you don't really have that same double top. I mean, arguably peak, right? Rejection candle, but it's not as clean. I mean, we do have a fall with a rising channel, which would create a reclaim of this, which would be the next fall if the news doesn't support this hold right here, right? So, but we could see the news come out really good and see an absolute explosion straight to 30,600, 30, something like that before the hard reversal or rejection. Now, to answer your question, why is Ethereum dropping like crazy? Bitcoin is not. It's not just Ethereum, guys. All alts are dropping. what happens is before massive news events, and today's a massive news event because you have CPI, crude oil inventories, and FOMC all in one day. That doesn't happen all that often. Um, when people are afraid of a big fall, what do? You pull your money out of a altcoin and you put it into the most stable coin in the market, which is Bitcoin. So that's why you get the alts just absolutely bleeding, and Bitcoin just not really moving. But let's go. I don't want to get too distracted here yet. So today will be a fairly quick huddle. I want to, for those that are in the community, I want to create a. So we were playing with our Google Meet program. So I'm gonna put a link out for the Q&A, and I think we're gonna do the Q&A on the Google Meet. It's pretty cool actually, so we can do some video. I have some exciting news to share with that Google Meet. I think it's gonna be great for the community. But let's go. I love to see these candles and trade these, right? I got my I typically do a lot of these on my phone, but I have it on my main laptop screen here. So I got a lot of my positions I've already placed between my live trader and other stuff. But let's see where the sentiment is, guys. I have a feeling it's going to do this, but let's see. It's going to depend. Let's get the news up. I'm going to pull this down to this screen, guys, just because I can't watch the candles and watch the news. Um, I'm in a few different options contracts as well, so that's why I'm watching the stocks here. Keep in mind, stocks is pre-market, so if you see the stocks move a lot, it's pretty significant. It's pretty wild. There's the news drop. Okay, initial push is north, big north too. There it goes. Look at this initial push. That's that wick I was telling you guys about. Mm-mm-mm. Look at that wick right from the SPX all the way up to here. Let's see what the dollar. Oh, look at the dollar just tanking, right? Now remember, that's the initial move, so look at that Bitcoin pump. Man, my market watch is not refreshing. Man, look at these candles. Yeah, it's so weird that the botjock site's not. Hey, look at that push north. Mm-mm-mm. There's that push. Yeah, the dollar is just dropping. It's right at its trend line that it's held for a while. It's gonna be interesting to see if this thing pushes past. Look at these candles. There we go. Finally refreshed. I was beating the heck out of this thing trying to get it to refresh. Um, yeah, guys, we're pumping. Pretty bullish. We ended up coming out at 5. 5.2 is the projection, and we were at 6. That's a big drop, so that's going to be a pretty bullish thing. So crypto likely has most of it built in, which is why you didn't see that explosion hold too much yet. And it seems like if you look at Bitcoin, it's actually fighting this top right here, right? So remember, a lot of these things are already priced into the market too, guys. But man, that is a bullish CPI report, that's for sure. So the dollar definitely tanked. I'm definitely not gonna suspect any kind of crazy retracement or pullback quite yet. Interesting. The only thing that could pull these things back, guys, is just going to be trend lines. Like you can see how the SPX right here is resisting off of this, um, because we have market open, right? So think about all the guys that are in calls right here that when this market opens, right? And you can see this is the trend line that SPX has been following right here. Some pretty nasty rejections off of it. So I'll be curious to see if the news can hold it up over that. Boop, 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 boom. Okay. Um, I'm honestly, I tell you, the market must have already had a lot of this price in, like it does, because um, being as bullish as that was, um, we did not get as much of a parabolic movement as I thought we would. Today's huddle is a little bit different, guys. If you guys haven't noticed, because news. Um, be aware of this second push, though. That's for sure. The second push is going to be. Remember, the price is moving like ridiculously right now, like this, because of markets are closed too. So when markets open, this thing is going to go bananas again at 9:30. So that's when you're going to see crypto go a little more bananas. With that sort of news, um, I think one of my other projections was around 30. thousand, I think 700 or 800, somewhere around here. So we might see a push up to that. We could even touch 31 today, guys, with that kind of news. But regardless how amazing that news is, um, the trend lines and the gap fills are still going to be respected over time. It just may take a little bit more time, right? Because that definitely came out more bullish. And like I said, it's going to be interesting because watch, I'm telling you that pump up like that is going to bait like all these traders into there, and then the FOMC is going to go, hey, inflation data came out, it's great, but we're still raising rates. Then it's gonna go boom all the way down just because of that. FOMC has a little more power over the movement than CPI, but man, this one actually caught the long here, but I didn't put that out in the room because I don't like the like I said, I don't like to put out signals on these data because it could just flip so fast. But honestly, for only I mean, I guess we pumped all the way to 30,500 right before the retracement, so I thought we'd push more, but at the same time with that report, but at the same time, like we're so oversold. I mean, look at how oversold we are on this. I mean, you go to the 1 hour is not too bad, but we do have crazy bearish divergence, right? You can see these highs, higher high that was created, right? But we have a crazy lower low. So I'm still a firm believer we're going to get a gap fill, just because people are going to stop buying at a certain price, regardless of what the news is. But we'll see. Even look at the daily. I mean, you have same peak, right? Same peak, but you have a crazy higher high, like not even close, like $3,000-4,000 difference, right? That's bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence, but divergence the same. But this is why we be careful on these days, guys. You know, the ones that trade the news events, they make a ton of money, not because they have a crystal ball and they know where it's going. They make a ton of money because they're willing to take that gamble of whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down. That's what they're willing to do. That gamble is what makes them a lot of money. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a second push up here and it rejects again, creating a double top, and then it would literally be a up, over, down. But I don't know, guys. I mean, that a 1% drop on inflation, that's pretty. That's a pretty big drop. So that's gonna be pretty interesting to see. But what I want to see is this rejection line has held for quite some time. If it holds as support, man, the explosion up should be pretty significant. Look where it stopped right on the SPX, right on my yellow line. Literally hit it and rejected. So a lot of times when I see that, because I forget where I put these, I just pull out and look. And look at this, guys. When it hit this one, super rejection. Even when it blew past a little bit, super rejection. So we have a trend line that's strong, right? We have a resistance line here that's super strong from previous support. So um, I don't know. I'm curious to see what market open does. This stuff gets me excited because the news is bullish enough that market could open, blow it past this, and we find support, which would, I mean, that would just propel us up like so much. It'd be ridiculous. But again, just like crypto, right? We have kind of a double top forming. We got a gap that still has to fill. Market could open and they could be like, hey, this was already priced in, right? Because they anticipated it from here. We already had a pretty parabolic movement. So all these rich guys that took their calls down here, right? They could see this resistance and say, man, that news was really good, but it didn't move far. I'm taking my profit, and then you're gonna see it just poop, which is funny because that is like the most confusing thing as a trader because you're like, oh, the news is so bullish, go long, and then all of a sudden the market just starts tanking, and you're like, it makes no sense. Like it's bullish, right? But you got to remember, a lot of these prices are mostly built in. If if the price comes in at or close to what they expected it to come in, it's likely priced in. So, and again, you still got to respect the trend lines. No matter what that news shows, somebody has to look at it and go, Bitcoin at 30,500, what a steal. I'm buying that. Right? And if they don't, if people just don't believe that's a steal because they're hesitant on it, doesn't really matter what happens. So, but interesting. Let's take a look at the market cap. Now we're post news here. Look at the market cap right here. Literally shot up and went right back below this trend line. Remember, this trend line was pretty significant. If we had to go all the way to the daily when we've been following this one, right? So you have your point, your point, your point. Actually, let me look. I might sometimes, guys, when I'm moving around my charts, I move them, but see how this point's a little low, this point's or a little low, this one's a little high. So let me true this up a little bit. Sometimes I'm moving my stuff around too much, and it moves my lines a little bit. All right, so it should be right there. Okay, so why did I not, put it on top of this one? Because we do have our 1 point, we do have our 2 point, but we also have another point here where twice it stopped on it. Then we have a point where it rejected, and then it's literally hanging out right below it. So let's see where that puts it on the, yeah, so not far off, pretty close, right? But you can see we're now below it. Look at this. I'm telling you, this could be a trap the traders kind of move, right? So let's see. Look at this in the market cap. Even with amazing news, we didn't create a higher high in the market cap. Pretty interesting. What did I just do there? I think I just duplicated that. Nope, didn't want to do that. Okay, take a look at Bitcoin. This is, I know we have great news, and I would caution, right? But I would look for a bearish retracement to begin, right? You have a peak, peak, lower peak that got rejected off of a trend line that has notoriously rejected pretty strong with good news, like really good news on the inflation. This is a three peak hit that will cause a pullback. Now, this is a 4 hour. You can go to like a 1 hour and still see it, right? Peak, peak, peak. 14 minutes left in this hour. If this shifts over and begins to flip red, bearish, and it breaks this line, this is a great time to enter that short because it's gonna pull down. But for now, I'd caution you on the shorts. I'm still running my shorts on my LTC, my ATA. Let me show you those real quick. Then I'm going to cut this a little early. I started it a little early, so but for those that are in the community, I'm going to be sending out a link in the announcements channel. For this one, actually, because I think I was going to have this one for anybody anyway. So even if you're not inside the community, if you want to join, I'll send the link out on the trading floor. So look for the trading floor. I'll send it as well in the announcements so people get the alert. Yeah, look at this pullback. Um, and it's kind of a video call that we set up with Google Meet, and I'll explain more on the Google Meets. But it's one that we can kind of keep open for a while and kind of hang out. But yeah, touching on my trades here, guys. Remember this one I was stuck in for days. I didn't do anything. It got out pretty well. Took another short, DCA'd, and this short's almost out right now. Yeah, look at this pullback. I'm telling you, market open's gonna shift it on people. This is gonna be nuts. I've seen this so many times. Um, but yeah, look at my LTC is almost out. So I'm not. I mean, even with that news, guys, look at it. Just it didn't really explode it. My LTC short's still trading, so I'm not touching it. And I got out of that one, right? So it's back to earning. I'm not running longs on it. I'm only running shorts. Um, Look at my ETH too. So you can see my ETH actually got out. My ETH got out in good profit. Look at this. My average was 1878. So it was a 2 DCA, guys. So keep in mind, that was a decent trade. And I got out at like TP5. Like 1861 was my sell. So that was a really good trade. Um, and then it took another short, DCA'd, and it's actually almost in profit. It's actually right at my entry. Huh. So looking pretty good. So I'm not going to touch anymore. Um, I'm gonna hold off. The reason why I'm holding off is I want to. I'm just letting this thing do its. I mean, I've had a good stretch, right? I'm gonna let it do its thing, um, and then probably tomorrow, maybe later tonight, even I'll put something out if I do it. But maybe tomorrow during the huddle, I'll throw in like maybe one or two other pairs. Likely short only, but we'll see. Um, the news was good. Could we still pop north? Yeah, but again, I have DCA protocol, so I'm comfortable starting a short up at these levels for sure. So, but yeah, not as explosive as I was thinking it might be. But we'll see when the stock market opens. Yeah, see, look at this rejection. I mean, we shot all the way up to on the pre-market up to 414, right? And we're back to 412 already. So I mean, even on the pre-market, it's already hard rejected. So market open is going to be pretty wild. So let's be on the video call if you guys want to join and hang out. The link that I'm gonna put out there, guys. I'm gonna leave this link open. I'll probably leave the call open like most all throughout the day. Um, it's going to be a way. I'm not going to just do it as a Q&A. It's going to be a way for us to just pop in and hang out if you guys want to hang out. But I'll explain more about that on the call. So just look out for that link. It's going to be in announcements as well as in the trading floor. So give me about maybe 50, about 20 minutes or so, and then I'll open that up for you guys. So just keep an eye out for that. But I'm gonna cut this out early, guys. I appreciate you guys' time. The good news is we have some bullish news, but it didn't go as parabolic as I thought it might because of it did reject off those trend lines. So the news could be bullish, but the trend line rejection could just tell market makers people aren't buying. That one move right there just cleared a ton of liquidity. There's so many shorts out there that just got wiped, right? Now there's a ton of longs that are built up. So if they, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a quick move down to like 28K just to wipe all those longs before we rocket north again. So just play the charts, guys. Keep the emotions out, and you'll do a lot better. So, but I'll see you guys on this other call. Appreciate your time.